Hey. Oh, look, sunshine. Let's have a look. It's been mothballed, haven't you, for the winter? Now it's sunny. What do you think? Should we get you going again? Who misses? Okay, so over the winter I did put quite a lot of two-stroke oil inside there and a little bit of fuel, and I've just been tipping the tank up every now and then like this, just to keep it lubricated inside. Do that, MZ. So I also had I've had problems with this bike with the throttle changing if you change the handlebars, but I noticed that the cable was trapped underneath here. Also was the wiring loom, so I've moved the wiring loom, dropped it down underneath, so there's now nothing here, and I've threaded the throttle cable through the holder there straight to the carb, so I'm hoping that might help. So job number one, empty out all this oil out of the tank, put some petrol in it, and then fix the tank back onto the bike. A sandwich box off Amazon for a few pounds. I think they're in here somewhere. Just I hope they are. Look at that. Even with a note, disconnect the battery, all the things I did. There's the bolts. Fit those bolts in, hold the tank back on. I'm going to drain it out first though. So the twisting and turning the tank over the winter with the oil in it seems to have been quite effective. No rust now, quite clean in there, so drain that out, then give it a rinse out, and then put the old fuel back in. What you can't see is there's quite a few flakes of dirt coming out of that. I can't really hold the tank, tip it. Yeah, there's the odd flake of dirt, which I think was rust that was just starting to accumulate inside the tank. Oh, this is what I was talking about. This wire here, see where it's dug into. I'm going to heat shrink that at some point. I'd been underneath the tank, and obviously it doesn't need to be under the tank. The tank was sitting on it, so the wiring's okay. That's just the outer shroud that's become a little bit compressed, but it would have cut through eventually. So there's a rubber grommet that goes in there, which I'll put back in a minute when I put the battery back in. And I've channeled the wiring underneath onto this bracket, and I've done the same with the throttle cable. The throttle cable was trapped underneath here and came back down again. It wasn't through that clip, so I think that's how it should be. Maybe that will stop it from changing the throttle when I move the handlebars. We'll see. Can't believe how professional I'm getting. Look at this, I left myself instructions. Those Allen keys, nothing to do with it. What does it say? Disconnect battery, drain the fuel, reroute the throttle cable from the tank as it was chafing, fill the tank with two-stroke oil to prevent rust, 50:1 fuel in a jerry can. Need to clean out the tank first. Well, I've done all that. So, wow, we've got sunshine. I'm not used to this. Come on. It takes a bit of persuading. Not quite on yet. Come on, that's it. Gently does it. That's it. $10mm. I do like the fact that even though this was made in communistical times, it still uses the metric system, which is the best. We like metric. Just is. All that silly imperial nonsense. Metric is best. Next job, reconnect the battery and plenty of compression. Right, well the battery's charged because I have had the charger on it from time to time, so it will be fine. Lovely. Not too tight. It's good. Right. So that's worked. And we should have power. Let's see. Will we have power? Yes, we do. Right. Oh, compression. Yeah, tricky bit. You can see all these scratches on here from me doing this so many times. It's to get this rubber grommet to fit. You have to get a rubber grommet to slide in there, and you need to get that flap to slide in between that flap, and it all has to work. So, a bit of patience. There. Sometimes you think you've slid that over and you haven't. List. Disconnect battery, reconnected, drained fuel, put some in, throttle changed, filled tank with 2-stroke, drain that, 50 to 1 in jerry can. Okay, let's get the 50 to 1 fuel in there. Fuel cap is on, tank is more or less full. I think there's over 2 gallons there. Right, so turn on the fuel, let's see what happens. Now in an ideal world, fuel will go down here and then it will stop and nothing will come out through there, but it always comes out there a little bit. Let's see, fuel on, so there goes the fuel. You can still see it flowing in. It's a bit of a drip there, which I hope is where I spilt it on the top earlier and not coming out of the tank. Bubbles are slowing. With a bit of luck, that may have worked. I'll just move the throttle cable a bit. No sign of any leaks. Ignition off, choke on, fuel on, kick over. Kicks over 3 times to try and get some fuel into the engine. Then turn on. See what happens. Ooh, nearly. Not quite. Okay. Ooh. Half throttle, half choke, full choke. Remembered I did put some 3-in-1 oil down there for storage, which I forgot about, and you can see that's very wet. So I'll clean that off, dry it off, try it again. I think the 3-in-1 oil might just be clogging things up a little bit, but at least it's wet. Put that down the bit of brake cleaner for easy start.